enough. As good enough.
Welcome to our weekly podcast, Good Enough, with your co-hosts, Sam Lewis and Mark Lips. Our goal on Good Enough is to interview guests who do not let being perfect keep them from achieving their dreams. Whether it be writing a book, growing a business, achieving some other success, all of these people are heartfelt, passionate, and good enough to be noticed and guests on our podcast. We welcome them, and we also thank you for joining us today.
Man, I've never had that happen, Mark.
Yeah, right. I can't tell you how many times since we were in high school you've tried to mute me, and
I finally found the magic button. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, 2026. Wow. Holy cow. I had someone send me a birthday, or their birthday was the other day, and I sent them, and she said, man, I cannot believe I'm 70 years old. And I said, I know, I can't believe you. Wait, if you're 70, that means, holy shit. Okay,
Yeah.
I tell you, I got to say, though, we're looking good for 70, buddy.
Yeah, but we're looking through 70-year-old eyes. So that's the gift God gave us.
No, 70-year-old I.
I got two.
Yeah.
There's three.
No, but even close up, no. I got to tell you guys, listeners, really, the whole idea is if you think young, you be young. That's just the way it is. I mean,
I'm gonna think that
about being old until I try to do something, and I realize problem with old guys is they still think they're young and they can do what they did before. And it just frustrates me that I can't get out and do the stuff that I did before, because, well, first of all, I don't want to get blinded in the other eye.
And that's true.
Yeah. And, but, like playing hockey or something like that, you think, God, I can't believe, dang it, I got to limber up or something,
Yeah. I didn't stretch enough.
Yeah.
I'm getting a new hip in a few weeks.
I know that. Okay. So this is I want to ask you about that because how did you know you needed a new hip?
The pain.
Where did it hurt?
I've been dealing with it for years.
I know, but where does it hurt? Kind of back in the back, up by your.
Some people talk about. Jordan's here.
All right.
Some people talk about it hurting in the front, and most people talk about it hurting in the front. But mine was like in the joint. I knew it felt like it was not in the back. It was in the joint.
At the back. Okay, because I have something going on in the back, and it's not the back because it's over to the left side, over to the side.
Yeah.
But
the thing about that, they can tell you that with an X-ray. You don't need an MRI or CT scan or any of that shit.
That's true.
Hey, let's let Jordan in.
All right.
Let's see what.
Sam, Jordan, you've changed. Oh my God.
Yes.
Holy cow.
What's that?
Hey, by the way, I love your book.
I know, it's great. It's like all this series of short stories. Total genius.
Yeah, I know.
I hope that's one of them in the book because that was shocking. Oh, there we go.
Hi. Yes, Gordon.
Hi there.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Sorry about that. That's the perks of living in the boonies. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Well, thank God we never have them, right, Mark?
That is my husband.
That's why we're late, is because we were having technical difficulties. So it's getting to the point now where Sammy and I are getting to the age where just getting up is a technical difficulty.
Well,
he's having a hip replaced later on in the month. So
Mark's he's had the knee thing and the other things.
Cancer.
I told my friend today. I said, he said, you read a lot, Sam, and I said, I'm not a very good reader, but my friend, my partner on the podcast, I said, Man, that guy, he reads really fast and retains. I said he's only got one eye and he reads twice as fast as me. And the
Well,
guy sat there for a minute, didn't know whether to laugh or not.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
No, I actually read slower now. I've noticed that with one eye.
You're still faster than me.
Yeah. Well, when you gotta,
Work for your joke, Mark. Work for your joke.
I got it. It's right there on the tip of my tongue somewhere. I've got to come back. I've got to come back. Woo! Oh, Jordan. Hey, the listeners, Jordan O'Halloran. I hate her because she's prolific. She writes books and does everything I want to do. And here she is. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I think this is your best yet.
Really?
This book. Okay, so Jordan, let's first of all, she's been on before, listeners, so you should know her. But Jordan O'Halloran, she's written a couple of books already. This is second or third book.
Second
book, and both are very creative. But Jordan, so tell us where this came from. What acid trip were you on?
Well, I don't do that anymore. I will lead with that.
Good.
That was past Jordan. But to be honest, so my first novel, Clean Up on Aisle 3, which is what I came on for the first time, was only one story. And so I became really attached to the main character in that, like it was becoming all enveloping and overwhelming and stuff. So I kind of needed a break
Right.
that. Like I was starting to see myself as a character and our lives were merging, and that's really not a healthy way to live.
Well,
Have you never had that, Sam, with any of your fiction stuff?
No, I've read it before, and certainly I had a meeting this morning with a writer, and we were talking about creating characters, and I said, I can't create them. I have to know somebody or something. I said, if I have to create them, I go bored with them.
Talk to Jordan.
Yeah, so that's the thing is
There's a bunch of characters in here. Oh my God.
I made my main character of Clean Up me. And so that's what was making things really hard. And so then I told myself, okay, because I already have another novel written. So I have 3 so far, but only 2 are published. So I told myself, okay, I'm going to do something different because I've met so many people that are like, I don't have time to read, or the world is too terrible for me to sit down and read. Like, I want to scroll through my phone. Or one of my coworkers, she drives from Ukiah to Lake County twice a week, And so I finally was like, I'm going to write something not serious. And so then I reached out to Trudy Wakefield, who we know, and then
we know
Sam,
Trudy, yeah.
Yeah, Trudy from the
I just
Bloom
emailed her this week, and she emailed me back. Yeah.
Oh, how weird. I love Trudy.
Yeah,
I was like,
she does that, that newsletter, and I read the poem that I like that poem, that funny poem that was in there, and I said, hey, I love the poem. Keep up the good work. And then she wrote me back, and she said, I read your Substack every week, and I was like, it's,
You should submit to her.
I've had a poem in
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead.
Okay,
this
because that's
character
what
thing
happened.
is a real
So,
thing. It's
yeah,
a real.
so
That's
what
a real.
happened is that I didn't want to write a whole novel again. So I was like, what if I try writing short stories? And I'm not good at that. So I forced myself to do it. And then I had all these short stories, and I was like, why don't I just make it into a book?
Well, you seem to be good at it. If you want my opinion, you seem to be good at it. I don't know why you say you're not good at it.
This to me was super fun.
And that's what I was hoping for, is I wanted something fun for people to just go home and read a 4-page story of my wacky brain. And I think we talked about this last time. I love Roald Dahl, and I love all his short stories. So I was really inspired by him too, of just like his wacky narratives that put you in the story right away.
That's why I'm a Wes Anderson fan. He's a Roald Dahl fan, and it's huge for me.
I got to ask though, on those stories from 30,000 feet, do you already have it mapped out, or do you just put yourself in in a place where you free and then it finds an ending somehow, or
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just do
they're so
it.
creative. They're so freaking creative.
Thank you. I
No, I
just do
mean
it.
like like TV, like movie, like as good as anybody out there creative. I mean, it's so fun. I just am I'm going, how did she come up with these ideas? Like,
I honestly, I don't think I've grown up yet. I don't think I've grown up yet.
That's
well
the
So
that's
I
key.
think
That's
that
the
the
key, isn't it? Isn't that the
Yeah, so
key?
I think that the ideas just come to me and I just follow them and see where they take me. But I
yeah.
have a few that didn't make it to the book, that maybe I'll do in
Oh,
part two.
not a
But
novel part two, right? Um,
Well,
all right.
so,
William Faulkner said about writing, don't forget to kill all your darlings.
mm-hmm,
You can't put, some of them you're in love with, but but
Yeah.
this character thing, I think that's interesting you say that because I had this conversation today and I was talking about this character business about being in the character. And, there's several writers. I mean, you can go on and on, Charles Bukowski, some of the others, like they talk about that's a dangerous thing in a way.
Wait,
What
what's it?
writers do is a dangerous thing. You put yourself in this head,
Oh,
mm-hmm.
and
well,
even what was Fahrenheit 451?
Ray
What's his
Bradbury.
huh?
Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, yeah. He said, you know, there's people in lunatic asylums sitting in a room by themselves talking to the walls, and there's writers that are doing the same thing. It's
It's
like
true.
that's a
he's not
great,
wrong. He's
that's a
not
great
wrong.
analogy. But it's I just think though there is a gift though there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Is that for me?
Yeah,
A
honey.
little bullet.
Um,
It's cocktail time here. So
6 o'clock. No, Jordan, there's still a gift there. That is so. I keep wondering who could we send this to back in our TV world and all of that, because this is really fun stuff. I mean, I could see this. Golly, it's
Well,
just
did you guys ever watch the show in the 90s, Amazing Stories by Spielberg?
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so that's what it was starting to remind me of. If I
yeah.
can have an ego for a little bit, I was like, I would love for these to be like amazing stories.
Okay, so here's an idea.
All right, I'm ready.
All right,
All right.
what if we did a Friday? I mean, we have to really flesh it out. Friday night dinner in the barn, 4 courses, and a story after each course. Read. Okay.
Okay.
And, you know, we bill it kind of as, and you can even bring in people to read it. You don't have to read it yourself. You could read one, you could have Barbara Clark or somebody from the theater read another one, or, because I'm talking to her about doing the Edgar Allan Poe night or something, or speakeasy in the barn and having
Hmm.
a course meal. But I was thinking this to read, because it's short enough where you could read it between courses, pick out 3 or 4 of these that are really just dynamite. Um, and they're all your babies, so you couldn't pick them out. We'd have to pick them out. But,
That's
but how fun would that be? Huh?
Mark, I'm so serious. If you're into it, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
I
for
think
real.
that's just a fun
how do
idea.
I fit in on this?
You're gonna fly out.
Yeah. You know what? You should fly out to meet Jordan. You should fly out here. Trudy would be here. We could have her here.
Yeah, we'll just come make a whole little Red Ears tent to meet Sam.
Susan Diener could be
There
here.
we go.
The,
Come
the
on.
problem,
Three writers we've interviewed could be here. Sam, you just got to fly out.
I'm just gonna warn you, Sam, you're not gonna want to leave. It's pretty
yeah,
great here.
I've been there, and my fear is once you meet me, the magic's over, and you're going,
Shut up.
yeah, that was a
You
lot of
just
talk
pulled
up for
bourbon
nothing.
out during the podcast. I think your reputation is gonna be fine.
I don't have one reputation.
You know what? Sam actually could be one of the readers.
See, there we go. It's just perfect. And you could be one of the readers. I love boove of your voices.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear my voice. I'm just going
I
to
think
be
that's a
there.
wonderful idea. I'm just joking, but I'd get into that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, we could even theme the dinner as it's not a novel, it's a dinner. And or it's not only a novel, it's a dinner. Or
Oh
no,
my God.
it's a dinner and a novel. Or
Okay, you need to talk to Tammy, please. I will do anything to make
yeah,
this
I think it'd be
This
fun.
no, here's the title. It's a novel dinner.
It's there we go. It's a novel dinner.
Drop the microphone, walk
I
away.
like
Yep.
it. Mic drop. There we
Yep.
go.
It's a
Uh,
novel dinner.
novel dinner. I'm writing it
A
down.
little
You two
double
are so
entendre on the
cool.
novel.
I'm still not paying your airfare.
You are a tight son of a bitch. You really are.
Novel
Well, the
dinner.
holidays just finished. We'd have to find a. Could he come for St. Patrick's Day?
I'm getting a new hip. I don't even know if I can get on a.
Oh, that's true.
And we
I,
already have. We have to figure out
I
for
won't
us.
have to go through the metal detector. I know that in the airport. So
Yeah, we have to look at our schedule. When because we're booking up our. We already have February 27th. That's our French country dinner.
man, I really want to go to that.
Restaurant week. And then we're doing that's February, and then in March we were going to do I can't remember, but anyway, yeah, squeeze it in somewhere, and God, that would be
Going
so
back to this writing thing,
perfect
George,
book to do it. It's a perfect book to do it, and
I
then
think it's a
we could
great
sell the
idea.
book too,
Huh?
sell the book there too.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you're okay with it.
of course. Are you
Okay.
kidding?
he's going to want a cut of the profit, Jordan. So
I mean, I'll give you $1 or so off the sale.
he's
No, I want you to sell it. I want everybody there to buy a copy of your book.
Maybe
And
we could just include it with the ticket.
oh.
that's
Just
nice.
an idea.
That's a great idea.
Just
I
an
mean,
idea.
oh my
Because
God.
then they're forced to take one.
That's it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out a month. I gotta figure out all of
You
that.
know, Jordan, Mark and I both turned 70 this year. And what we should do is a mutual birthday party.
Just Sam. I didn't turn. I've told you how many times I go by mental age now, not chronological.
What about shoe size? I've heard that one too.
Oh, shoe size. I love it. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm 9.5.
There we go.
Close to
That
10.
fits.
Close to 10, almost into double digits.
But I was gonna go back to the writing stuff. I really am unsure if I'm gonna take Jonah's class again this semester.
I got so far behind because I ended up Wednesday nights ended up being so. I mean, the BBAC commission that I'm on, and it just ended up the Wednesday nights started
Oh,
filling up, and by the time and then I'd missed like 3 or 4 classes, and I said, okay, well, but anyway,
Why don't you guys workshop it? Why don't you get a workshop going?
Jordan and I have talked about that. But listen, so I want to. How much of listen, readers? I swear. Okay, so what it's called? Not a novel,
mm-hmm.
right? And you can find it on.
Amazon, you can find it anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Like even independent booksellers have it.
And
Jordan,
you will not be disappointed.
I don't remember if we
Tell you
talked
right
about, I don't know if we remember if we talked about this last time, but your process of getting into the publishing part, because that's a whole nother thing. Writing and editing and all that,
Mm-hmm.
proofing is one thing, but then this publishing thing is like, uh, I talked to 2 different authors today, and it was just happenstance, but the one guy, he does publishing for his wife's book. She's a financial planner, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he does the publishing part she writes it, it's a business kind of sales thing. You walk in, you give the customer something for free. That also posits you as an expert.
Hmm.
So she has a book, and so she wrote this book, and so he learned all about the self-publishing thing. But there's some tricks to it.
Oh yeah,
So how did you get into that?
well, so when I first published Cleanup, I had all this so I'll give a little bit of a background. I went to the Santa Barbara Writers Conference before I finished this book. And do you guys know about the Santa
Yeah,
Barbara
you,
Writers
you won an
Conference?
award.
Yeah, so it's run by Charles Schultz's son. It's like hundreds of people go to it. I won Best Fiction of the whole thing in 2018. So in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be super famous. All these publishers are gonna want me. Netflix is gonna want to make a book of my, or no, a movie of my book. Like I had this huge ego. And then reality set in, and I was like, no, that's not going to happen. And then COVID happened where everyone and their mom decided to write a book. So I finally was like, okay, I'm
Oh, I
going to
never thought
try.
of that.
Yeah,
I bet that happened.
it did. And that was a problem too, is like you think your ideas are original, and obviously they are, but to get to that market of like finding the right publisher and stuff was starting to just become a nightmare to me. I think I got like over 50 no's. And I know that it's not anything personal, but after a while, it kind of just starts to weigh on you.
Well, but okay, and well, let's break for a commercial. One of our sponsors, near and dear to me, is the Ripe Choice Farm Stay and Catering, and that is a full service catering uh, farm with an event space barn, commercial kitchen, row crops, an orchard, a vineyard, all of that up here in Northern California.
Two
And
pet
also,
pigs.
and I have two pigs, Rosie and Bud, eight chickens, and a couple of labs, and a rescued cicada tortoise who rarely seems to come outside at all. But
He's right
we're
there in the house with you?
no, no, it's in the shed, but it just
Oh,
stays in the shed. It just stays there. So, and I want him to come out and walk around and enjoy the area. So I've got to create this habitat in the corral area. I'm going to create this animal habitat like you would see at a zoo. So I got to figure out what that all is going to entail. Also being brought to you by, still on my end here, Happy Friday Neighbors newsletter, which comes out at 4 a.m. every Friday, has for the last 25 years. And if you would like to be on it, listener, just text me at 310-849-9181. 310-849-9181. And I need your email, and I'll send it to you. And you can also send me things to post. If you're a locally owned business, I love to promote local businesses. And if you took a fantastic picture on vacation, send that to me. I love to take credit for those pictures. No, I will put your name on those pictures. But Sam, what do you got?
Also brought to you on this end of the country, here in Bloomington, Illinois, Bloomington Pride Staff, full service staffing agency. We do direct hire. We do entry level manufacturing, warehouse, office clerical, headhunting. So we do a little bit of everything here. And between Bloomington and Peoria, you can find us and apply for a job at pridestaff/bloomington.com. And you can see my smiling face on there and see the list of jobs we currently have open, or even if we don't have a job open right now that suits you, that could change tomorrow with a phone call. So and now back to Good Enough.
Nobody likes no's, but how many people have pitched? How many movies out there were pitched to studios all over town, and they were told no, and then they became this Oscar-winning.
True. But there's
kinds.
no original movies anymore, though.
Yeah, no. I mean,
That
That's
is
a
a tough
problem
one.
too.
yeah, we can get into yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
but
I
anyway.
think there's something to what you're saying, Jordan. But the things I've read and people I've talked to said if you can get 1,000 true fans, you're a huge success compared to the rest of the world.
Hmm.
1,000, not millions. 1,000.
Mhm.
That puts you in a slot way, way, way above everybody else.
I love that.
I think Timothy Ferris said that. I don't know if you're familiar with Tim Ferris, but
Mm-mm.
4 Hour Work Week, but anyway, so I think from and most, publishing, getting the hitting the lottery is what it is. It's really what it is. There's lots of good books out there you never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Like Confederacy of Dunces, that guy died before he ever knew that book was worth, and somebody dug it out and took it to a publisher and, oh yeah, and they published it, but I think that I think, I don't know, but I think the idea now with publishing is if you can publish and get it to this, fan base right here, albeit small, it's still a thing and a big thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to have an ego again, I've been to Safeway in Lake County and people will be like, "Oh, you're Jordan, that writer."
Oh,
So, I
really?
mean, that's enough
Oh,
for me.
that's cool.
So that's cool.
That's cool.
Or the library wants me to have an event for my book.
That's
Like
very
people
cool.
reach out to me now. So
What
that's
are people saying that are reading this? What are they saying?
they have been asking me
It's
what's
different.
wrong with
It
me.
is different, and
They've been asking you what?
They've been asking what's wrong with me and if I'm okay. Because the stories are so weird.
No, you're
Or
Roald Dahl, that nobody thought he was normal.
mm-hmm.
You're right.
And I don't want to be.
I
Do you
think
So
have a
it's
writer's shack out back you go into, Jordan, like Roald Dahl?
no, I want one though.
Have you seen that writer's shack?
Yes. There's a Roald Dahl museum in England that I
Yeah,
want to go
yeah,
to so
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
One day. One
what's
He
your
day.
got his
favorite?
house there. There's that little shack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this, chefs hate to be asked, "What's your favorite thing to make?" It's something you should never ask a chef. You know, but did you have a story that stood out more than
Yes. The one about the egg roll in Costco, where the girl becomes a vampire after eating the Costco sample. Do you remember that one? That is the one that stands out to me the most. Because I was at Costco one time and I was starving, and I'm like, what if I turned into a vampire? So my brain just goes to these weird ass places, and that was one of them.
I think
I love that.
so. Okay, so explain that one. Explain the what was the one that the candy store?
Oh yeah, the alien in the candy store.
Getting in a candy store.
Mm-hmm.
Give a taste to people listening. It not
Yeah,
the thing is you can destroy you can give away the secrets. That's the
I
problem.
know. So the alien in the candy store one is about a guy that works at a candy store, and one day he's sweeping up the store, getting ready to close, and an alien shows up. And
Yeah.
then the alien gives him recipes for chocolates to help people's lives. And that one, I don't know where that one came from, but I wanted to mix mental health into it too.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I mean, so creative.
I
It's
also do watch a lot of Star Trek, and like you were saying with the chef question, my favorite genre to write is starting to become sci-fi. Because
Yeah.
you can literally do anything. You can just say, oh, it's because they're an
No
alien,
bound.
you know?
As long as you make that leap of faith of some sort that people will buy into.
Mhm.
well,
You
you can, but to be fair for sci-fi guys and gals, there's always that you always got to have that hook of truth, the hook of reality in it.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. A leap of faith, but people can believe an alien can
Oh
show
yeah,
up.
yeah. Right, right, right. But I'm saying
We
like,
got that.
if you think about like some of the greatest science and there's variations like Ray Bradbury we were just talking about. He was more like there wasn't a lot of sci-fi technology or anything. It's about philosophies about life with Ray
Mhm.
Bradbury. His stories were, yeah, okay. Him, what's the one about Hemingway and he rent the plane crash? I mean, when I read it as a kid, I was kind of a Hemingway fan. And then I didn't understand. My mom read it and she said, this is about Ernest Hemingway and he has this plane crash and he has his head injury and this, I was like, that's in that story? Like, man, there's more railroad cars to this train than I thought there was.
Mhm.
But
You
it was
know,
about it's always about real life. And I don't know are you a Black Mirror fan?
I can't watch it. I'm the Twilight Zone is scary enough for me.
Well, Black
So,
Mirror is not scary, but it's about technology and humans interaction. It's very philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. There's very philosophical science fiction writers. There's this middle of the daily, aliens are on my front porch writers, and then there's this other, that's all technical and thing. But I, the genres, and then there's fantasy, which I like fantasy enough, but Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett and those guys, and I mean Terry Pratchett, it's off the cliff, with weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, but your work, it is on the edge of science fiction and a little bit of fantasy,
Oh,
but you're keeping the dilemmas of mankind in there.
Mm-hmm.
but for me, and maybe I'm distilling it down to too simply, but I just thought as a reader, it's just so clever. It's just clever.
Yeah.
The what you've done is wow. You know, and if there was any way to get this to, like you joke about Netflix, to get this to these people and say, hey, would this be a good, short run series,
Mm-hmm.
of stories along the lines of, amazing stories or Twilight Zone or today's version, and
Think about what's the guy that wrote The Martian and Artemis?
uh,
Andy Weir.
Andy Weir. Think about his what's the movie out now? About the long shot or the
I know what you're talking about, but I can't.
where he runs into this alien and they work it. But it's all the whole thing, even though this alien is the weirdest thing ever, and the situation they're in is the weirdest. It's all about this one human,
mhm.
and he's still human, and he's human till his last days, you know. And that's what I like about Andy Weir. He has a ton of technology in it. The Martian wasn't. Was The Martian really science fiction? Not really. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it's science and it's fiction, but it wasn't. There weren't aliens crawling all over the place. There's this guy on the planet. He had to get off and get back home. And
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what'd he say? I'm going to science the shit out of this.
yeah, yeah. Martian was more about the scientists lashing back that you can't have a tornado on Mars. You can't have that kind of a storm on Mars and things like that. So, but I thought it as just a great entertainment. I didn't think
Yeah, well,
it's fiction. It was just, you know,
Well, that's the thing too, is like that's why I love writing fiction because it's such a good distraction. I mean, if you open the news, you're gonna find everything as bad is going on, but there's
do
there's
you
good.
how do you do your me and these two other writers today were talking about editing and having
Mm-hmm.
somebody, climb into your story and tell you it sucks or this is wrong, or what do you do about that with your
So
writing?
I have people I trust that will read it for me. I read it out loud. I also, one of the biggest things that I do is I print out my stories so I can see it because looking at the computer for too long makes everything
It's
blend
something about that,
together.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that
There's
weird?
something about putting the pen to paper that feels so different than sitting and editing line by line. And I
Mm.
also read it out loud to myself.
Every
Uh,
writer I ever talked to said if you want to do it well, you got to read it out. If it don't sound good out loud, it ain't
and
good.
AI, sadly, AI like Grammarly really helps.
But AI, that was the other question I got into today with these guys, and I said, I use AI, but I don't write. I don't. AI doesn't write it, but I give my work to AI, and I use it like I used to pay an editor, and she was pretty good, but she didn't get the idea of fiction and poetry. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so she could correct my grammar, my spelling, my punctuation, but after that, it was. And that's good, but it wasn't. But AI, I mean, it is so good right now. It says, it can say, well, this sentence is clumsy. Try. And here you're going, my gosh, that's right. This is a
Mm-hmm.
good sentence,
mhm.
right?
Yeah. Well, in our writing class, I don't think Mark was for at that one, but we had a whole AI class where there's this app called Claude that you give it samples of your writing and then it
Claude.
starts to know what your writing style is. And
I
that blows
put
my
that in my
mind.
email, Claude. I still have that sign up.
Hmm.
So
I think it is I would never, always tell my audience on Substack, like I don't use AI. AI does not write these for me. But I don't say I don't use AI because I use it to edit to, Grammarly is similar, it's just a high level
Hmm.
Grammarly, right? And I'm glad I have it, or otherwise I could never get it, just me by myself could never get it out there in a week, right?
No,
It'd be impossible.
do you
And
lose any personality with AI? Any
me,
or yeah, any spark
yes.
with your characters or anything like that?
Yeah, it kind of makes them flat sometimes. So eventually I'm just like, okay, that's going to be an error. I
Yeah.
don't care.
I used AI on something that I wrote, and I felt like it took the took the personality out of it,
Hmm.
the oomph
I
or
think
the
you're right about that, Mark. That's the times I use it. I'm like, no, I'm keeping what I had in there. That sounds
Hmm.
more like me than.
right.
Because if you're passionate about something, it's not going to have the same joy and like energy that you want to bring to what you're writing about.
Yeah, but it is amazing. It's I mean,
Oh,
it's a part of our world now.
it's
So
Yeah.
scary.
yeah,
I think it may. I mean, I feel like it's like, at least right now, I don't think it's artificial intelligence. I don't think it's intelligent. I think it's does a lot of connections and it really at a real fast rate,
yeah.
But I don't think, when I've tried on some experimental stuff where it's writing things, it's like, that's a little weird. So
Well,
Hmm.
it's it's an aggregator.
it's an aggregator. Thank you. Right.
Aggregates the more you punch
And
in.
fast. It does it fast.
Yeah, well, that's why people like it. They can write a press release in 1 minute.
I'm using it
Say
all
what
day
you
long
want
on
to
my
say.
phone. Even when I'm writing, writing or reading, I have my phone there, which is kind of a mistake because it's a distraction. Joan Didion said that the writer's worst enemy is a distraction.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a distraction, but I can quickly, well,
Hey,
who was the god of lightning in the Greek myths?
well,
Hmm.
I can have it too.
that's why our kids are having problems in schools.
Yes.
They're so distracted right now because they've got a phone in their hand. They're either looking down here at it or,
Well,
walking.
I'm writing this thing. I'm writing this thing for my Substack about that. And there's a book I read many years ago before AI. It's called Bowling Alone. This Robert Putnam guy, he was on CNN on Fareed Zakari, and he talks about all this stuff before we're even into this screen stuff we're in now. And I'm like, is this making us dumber? I don't
I
have to
think,
remember
Mm,
this or that or the other. I can just say it in the phone and I got it.
yeah,
or
yeah,
And
even
and
social
I'm an old
media.
guy. I'm
Social
used to
media.
writing and everything. My grandkids aren't. They don't have any other fallback thing.
Hmm.
what,
I'm
Jordan?
concerned about that.
Yeah, me too. I was just gonna say social media as well. It's such a time suck. Like I have people on there that I haven't talked to in over 20 years, and I'm like, oh, I know what they had for breakfast this morning. It's like I don't really need to know that,
Right.
but uh, I don't know. It's just all
Well,
craziness.
and yeah, we can go on for days about social media dumbing us down. It also, social media has increased uh, workflow so that, with emails and all of that and being able
Oh,
to, when you back in the old days, you do a couple of deals, like when out telling TV shows, you do a couple of deals and then you had to wait a couple of days for the contracts to come through and all that. Now it happens like that, and they expect you to do two more deals tomorrow, and so
Hmm.
it really ratchets everything up. And next thing you
hey,
know,
hey, I hate to say this, but we're down to like a minute and a half. Can you believe that?
Oh
uh,
wow.
So
so
I got to take a
okay,
picture.
very quickly though,
Hold
Jordan,
that, hold
the
that
next book,
book
did
up,
you
Mark.
say what the next book is
I don't
about?
know yet. I don't
Uh,
know.
no,
Hold the
Next
book up.
year?
Let's take a picture. Hold the book up,
Okay.
Mark. Everybody smile. Well, Jordan, I was looking forward to this. Thank you.
I
We
was
got
looking forward to it
Continue
too.
good luck with your.
we gotta somehow find.
If Mark and I can help you, however we can help you.
Yeah.
Just send it to all your friends. That's all
right.
I can ask.
All right.
All I want is connection with all this stuff that I do. At the end of the day, I just want connection and love coming to me.
All
That's
right.
all I
Good
want.
night. Thank you.
Right. Love
Thanks
you
for your
guys.
time. See you, Mark.
All right.
Love you, Mark.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Good. 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 Enough. As good enough.